Hello, I'm Richard Goering here at the Design Automation Conference 2011, and I'm speaking with Dave Tokic, who is Director of the Partner and Ecosystem Alliances at Xilinx, which is a pretty descriptive title, but Dave, could you tell us what your job involves?
Absolutely. So I'm responsible for all the third-party ecosystem relationships and strategy within Xilinx. So establishing the shift from where we're a silicon provider to being more of a platform provider, and bringing in the ecosystem third parties that span intellectual property, design services, EDA, embedded, boards, etc., under the umbrella so that we can give our customers the capabilities and products and services that they're looking for.
Okay. Why is an ecosystem of third-party providers important to Xilinx?
So as I was mentioning, we're going through a pretty significant shift from being a silicon provider to being a platform provider. And as part of that, that's driving specific requirements on Xilinx to change what we're doing with the ecosystem. And so the platform, these targeted design platforms that span the base level for all logic designers to domains such as embedded DSP and connectivity up to market level, such as applications for driver assistance or motor control in industrial, etc. There are a lot of requirements that are being driven in from the customer base. Xilinx can't do it all. And so we really need a robust ecosystem of third parties that can provide the products and services around on those platforms to accelerate our customers' productivity.
All right, and from an IP perspective, what does the ecosystem include? Does it include a number of third-party providers?
Absolutely. We have a pretty robust set of third-party IP providers, from from suppliers of kind of broad connectivity type IP, all the way to specialized IP, whether it's in the communications arena or within industrial or automotive or broadcast type of arenas. So it actually spans quite a few market segments from the IP providers that we have.
Okay. How many Xilinx customers are actually using externally sourced IP today?
That's a good question. Well, Xilinx has something on the order of about 20,000 customers. And so I can't say that all of them are using externally sourced IP today because it's a wide range of customers, but most of the major, larger customers today from Xilinx are using some level of third-party IP. It's just more efficient for them to grab IP that's available from the third-party marketplace rather than try to roll their own or develop their own.
What types of IP are they most commonly using?
Again, it kind of spans quite a broad array, and it depends on the type of market segment or application that you're talking about. So, for example, in the, I'll just pick automotive for a second. We focus a lot of effort around driver assistance and infotainment and things of that nature. So image and video processing IP is very important, from compression to stitching, things of that nature. If you move into the broadcast space, you're doing a lot of scaling and things of that nature, or compression. If you're in the communication space, which is a significant portion of Xilinx's business, on the comm side, it could be anything from high-end Ethernet protocols to traffic management to OTN type solutions, etc. So that's a kind of maybe a snapshot or a gamut of the IP that is being provided.
All right. What challenges do you see customers running into with IP integration?
Well, I would say the same challenges that we've been facing for a while in the IP space is how do we ensure that the IP is of good quality. So what are the metrics that are being communicated from the providers around IP quality to build a level of trust with the customers, as well as the ability to properly integrate and verify that IP. Ideally, if you have good IP coming in, and our IP for the FPGA world is always soft, right? We're getting soft IP onto our platform, onto our fabric. And so we do want to have known good IP that's been properly verified, that's been run through the flow so it's implemented on the Xilinx fabric, and have some proof about that. And then comes the stitching part, and which can get challenging if you're engaging or trying to integrate many pieces of IP into your system. So we're seeing today customers that are integrating dozens of IP blocks, and there's still manual processes or homegrown processes. We're looking to automate that, and we're trying to work with the ecosystem to see what we can do to automate that better.
All right, good. Now it appears to me that some IP comes directly from Xilinx, some comes from third parties. How do you decide which to offer yourself and which to partner on?
Right, right. So as I mentioned, our ecosystem spans a lot of the, I'll call it the horizontal IP, all the way to very special market specific IP based on our customer needs. And so we go out and we look for the partners to engage there to give that capability. But that doesn't mean that Xilinx is not providing IP. We actually provide a pretty broad portfolio of IP. And our decision process is really around what is the types of IP that cross the majority of our customers, that give the most leverage. And so those are the things that our customers are expecting from us as a platform provider. As you start going up the chain to something more application specific, that's not the business Xilinx is in. We're trying to provide market or kind of broader platforms and then work with the ecosystem to develop and deliver those very targeted key applications. So we'll provide a lot of the broad, and we still partner with third parties for that as well, since our customers are using many third parties, but we will provide the broad and we'll go with the ecosystem for the kind of the domain and kind of application specific type IP. Okay,
and then finally, Xilinx and Cadence partnered last year to build a Xilinx IP microsite at ChipEstimate.com. What's the idea behind that and how's it going?
So the idea behind that was that we saw ChipEstimate as an industry-leading portal in the market for finding the right type of IP more quickly. And so one of the motivations was to not only have the Xilinx IP posted onto ChipEstimate.com, but also create a microsite where we can bring in the key third-party partners that we have, IP partners that we have, into that framework, into that microsite, to connect our customers more quickly to the right IP. And the other aspect was that the ChipEstimate demographic is very heavily skewed toward ASIC designers. And so what we wanted to do is have another opportunity to reach out to the ASIC community to show that the FPGA, especially our new 28 nanometer FPGAs and our ARM dual-core Zinc extensible processing platform are really viable alternatives to ASIC. It's becoming, the ability of what our new families can cover is really, I think, competitive with what potential ASICs could do. So we want to make sure that we communicate that Xilinx is a good alternative to ASICs.
All right. Thank you, Dave.
Great. I appreciate it. Thank you, Richard.